All right, are we live now? You guys see that? Raul, anybody on Raul? Can you see on the YouTube real quick if you can see it live?
I don't see it live.
All right, are we live now? You guys see that?
There are like three. Oh, there's one live. You have three upcoming.
All right, let's go.
You're live.
All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys had a blessed day. Today I'm going to show you guys how we managed to maintain the markets, how I personally made $580 today in less than 30 minutes. So should have made so much more money, but it's all good. We like to say, if you're green, that's the goal. And especially on a Friday, get green and go enjoy your day. And that's what we do here. So let's dive right in here and show you why I called out the same patterns, the same setups over and over and over again, and how we utilize that together in our live stream every single day. If that is something that you want to see what we do live and work with us side by side, then just comment BMT in the chats. This is recorded, so you can go back and watch it if you'd like. But let's dive right in here. First chart, I'm on ES futures. You can trade options on SPY along with the ES chart. And you can trade with the NQ chart. You could trade QQQ options, right? So on this first chart right here, I'm using Swingmaster Pro AI and our Profit Pivots AI, which is our intellectual property, something that we use every single day inside of our mastermind. Coming into the market, you can see that we have a pivot right here. And if the pivots are green, we're looking for a breakout. If the candles are red at the pivot, we're looking for a breakdown. So coming into the market, the candles are red. We wanted to come down here to a lower pivot. That never happened. So one of the hardest things that you can do in trading is be patient and wait for your setups. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? The hardest part about trading is waiting for these setups to play out. They will play out, but you don't want to just take entries just because you feel a move's coming up. And that's what separates us from the rest, right? But that's my opinion. So coming up here, you see this candle turn green. This candle's green. I wanted a breakout right there, and it never happened, right? We immediately rejected, and now our candle turned red. So since this candle's red and we hit that pivot, now this qualifies us to take a breakdown. And had you have taken this right here, that went from a good 50, 55 down here to about 40. That's 15 ES points. That move right there in 6 minutes could have generated you about $750. But you're never going to capture this full move. Could you have gotten a piece of that? Absolutely you could have, right? So there was our first trade right there on ES. And I like to tell people all the time, we're very good at what we do, but we do not win every single trade. So you must remember the 3 pillars of success that we preach. Pillar number 1 is trading your vehicle, right? There's a lot of people, this is their vehicle as well, and they trade it. The second part is stay consistent to your vehicle. And you got to wait for your setup. You got to take the setup and continue to push forward. The third trading or the pillar of success is the risk management pillar, right? Just picture 3 of those pillars sitting there and a house is on top. If any of those legs are not followed, what happens to the house? It crumbles. Well, picture the house now like your trading account. If you don't follow the 3 pillars, you're going to fail. You might not fail today, you might not fail tomorrow, but next week from now, you might fail. So with that being said, cheers. You follow that with the tools that you see on the screen, you're going to be very, very happy. So coming into the next setup we have right here on ES, this green candle hit it. I said, all right, guys, I'm looking for a breakout off our pivot. And guess what happened? Doesn't look like a big move right here, but that in 4 minutes, that's easily $400 or so. So could you have gotten a couple $100 out of that? Absolutely, you could have. Then we got a reset, and then price came back up again, called out a breakout here. Right there was our stop out, went against us, and then boom, power bar. So many people took part of this move right there, guess what? 3 trades on one symbol today. You could be done. A lot of people took this first trade. They were done for the day. We had someone in the chat. They said they made. Let me pull it up real quick. Where's the chat at? I believe they're on a flight. I'm gonna read it. All right. They made $130 a contract. They traded options. They said flight taking off now. Have a great weekend. That is powerful right there. You know. All right, so now moving along to the next stock or the next futures symbol we have right here on this chart. This is our NQ chart. Now, the candles are green. This candle hit the pivot, called a breakout right there. This doesn't look like much, but that's 20 NQ points. I look to go, as soon as we get 10 to 15 NQ points, I want to go risk-free. Why? Because I want to secure my profits. So there was one winning trade that moved over 10 NQ points in 4 minutes or less. Right? Then this candle went from green to red. It hit the pivot, so now you can take the breakdown, and that was a nice juicy one. If you took part of that one, I did not on that one. But if you did, then you're good. So I did take this next one as we bounce. Said the candles are being green. The reason I did miss this one is because my eyes were up here on this chart in the option space for quite a little bit, and we're going to get to that next. But so I did not take that one personally. The next trade I took was the breakout right here, and I got a breakout. This thing went up, and it ended up stopping me out at like 8 or 9 NQ points, even though it did push almost 100 NQ points, you know. But what do we say? Bummer, green bag. Our goal is to be green, grow our accounts, and keep on pushing, right? Then the next setup, it reset. This candle touched the pivot again. We took a breakout. Bam, there's another winning trade. So guess what happened right there? NQ, you had 4 trades today. I took part of 2 of them, and you are very happy. A lot of people is happy in the chats. We got some people that took NQ. They put a BMT in the box. ES, they got 1K across all accounts. Another one made 150. Another one made 1K. Another one said they made taking 1K profit on my initial investment. Thank you. We will trade with the 1450 house money now. That's amazing. I love it. On this next chart we have right here, on CL, we were looking for a trade to present itself, and this is another one of the other vehicles that we use. It's in the same tool. Our green candles, green arrows. Right here will be your entry. Candle would be a stop out down there, and as you see, price rolls up. There's a winning trade. So we did call that for CL. And then we also wanted to take, we had a pivot break right here, and it did push down, and there was people that was able to navigate some profits on that one as well. So it all played out, and it's very good. Now, coming to specifically for options traders, this is Tesla. We come into this chart. Same plan, same symbol, repeatable process, and this is exactly how this one played out right here. All right, Mr. Harris, you got $490 today. Great work, great work. On this chart right here, we're above our Mastermind magnet of 421, and we come up here to this pivot called a breakout right here, and this thing moved about $3 on the share side on the same day expiration. Guess what? That's money for you options traders. But the real move really happened right here for me and a lot of people. As price came down, you see that we got this green candle, green arrow, super, super bullish. We come and hit this pivot. You could have taken a breakout right here. A lot of people got in right here, and look what happened. 429, and this went up to 434. Had you have done that, that's over 100% ROI on an options trade. Today's expiration, and I did not get 100%. I got stopped out, I think, 45%. But guess what? I was able to capture a piece of that move, and that's what I like to tell people. If you can day trade and get 1 or 2 winning trades a day, just stop and walk away. Why? Because I'm not 100%. You're not 100%. So the law of the probability says there's a loss coming sooner or later, because it's going to take your 2 wins, 0 losses, and now you might go 3 wins, and then you might take a loss, and you might be 3-1. Still going to be profitable. I like to keep it real simple, straight to the point, and let me go enjoy my day. So hopefully that makes some sense for you guys. In the chats, hey, appreciate you guys. Amazing stuff. 328 across all 20 accounts. using your systems, you made $6,500 today. Wow, I love it. Keep up the great work. Awesome, awesome. So, with that being said, the last trade I did call out is our lotto trade. If I go back to this chart, which has a couple different tools, we did call out some SPX calls. As you can see, this did push up here to the upside. The power with this is we have a proprietary AI lotto high set for us to take a contract that has a high probability to go 50 to 100% ROI, but that's for the options traders. So I did take a piece of that one. I traded light because we've been on a 6-day win streak for this one, and that's what we say. If we win 3 or 4 in a row, I like to scale back just a tad bit because I do know a loss is coming sooner or later, and I tell the team that every single day. But what we do, we're fully open. We like to educate in the night and then execute together during the day, and that's the power of doing it the beast mode way, right? Coming in, we learn about the things, we trade, and then after this, I open it up for anybody who has questions or stocks they want to take a look at. And basically, that's your time after we all make some money. So 5 days, we do this every single day. And then Tuesday evenings, I hop on a Tuesday night class just to give some clarity on some questions and educate people. So if that is something that you do want to take part of, you can see the QR code right here on the screen. Scan it. $99 your first month. You can see exactly what we do. And you could get the same strategy for the options traders that I was able to win for 25 days in a row. So slow and steady always win the race. You're never going to get a Lamborghini in one trade, but that's okay. Building your trading account for generational wealth is always the goal, you know? And I get some people that come in and they say, well, what am I looking at right here? Well, this is a custom screener or scanner in how we use this to give us a higher probability or put something on our radar for us to watch. So for instance, you can see Amazon right now has a strong sell. So if I wanted to go to Amazon and look at Amazon, guess what? We're red right now. Our candles went from green to red right here. And guess what happens? We start pushing to the downside. So that's something that is very interesting if you're trying to look and scan the markets for different trades. However, this scoreboard is monitoring the 5-minute time frame, right? So if you do not day trade, I'm going to show you a real powerful tool how to swing trade. And this is what we do. We day trade for our jobs, we swing trade to help grow our accounts, and then we use the profits of both to pay our bills and invest for the long haul, right? So if you're a swing trader, you can come here and toss this any chart. I got Amazon up for a swing trade, and guess what? Same principles. See how these candles are red right here? Red candle, red arrow right here. There's a winning trade. Red candle, red arrow. Short-term swing trade, winning trade. Red candle, red arrow right here. At the end of the day, if you got in the next day, guess what? It's now down $7 or $8. So with that being said, that is a good probability for you to be in. And that's what we do. We trade the probability. We put everything in our favor because it is our job to be a doctor. Anyway, you want to swing trade, something I'm going to give you that's on my radar. T-Mobile, TMUS is a strong sell, and Amazon is strong sells. I will be looking at trades on those, debit spreads, directional puts for them, and that's how I scan and look for things that are extremely weak. So let's take a look at T-Mobile, look for some prime short entries. I do like it. As you can see, we're definitely still trending down. So we got our downward channel. So we could trade sideways a little bit. And with earnings coming up, there might be a good chance with all this weakness, we might get a earnings drop, you know, but you never know. So with that being said, I personally wouldn't hold it through earnings. I'm just giving you a quick little rundown of how we use the tools because it is a Give Back Friday. The last thing, you can give me a random symbol or stock, and this is how we invest. So people say, well, I don't want to day trade. I don't want to swing trade. I just want to grow my account and invest so I could pass on to my kids. For me, I'm 36. I've been doing this the same way for my kids because when they turn 25, they're going to have an account that's going to be gifted to them that they're not going to know about. So I'm going to put them on a different situation because my ceiling is going to be their floor. But how do I trade with confidence and how could it help you? Well, check this out right here. Everybody knows what I'm trying to think here. Everyone knows what Ethereum is, right? In the crypto side. You can trade crypto in the stock market, right? And you can come over here and you change this daily time frame to the weekly time frame, and you scroll back. I look at this, my investing is like the real estate method, right? What the heck is Brandon talking about? Well, the real estate method is like this. If you buy a house and the housing market drops in a year or 2 years, do you sell your house? I mean, be transparent. Do you sell your house? No, you don't. You either put money into your house to increase the value or you wait it out. Well, when I buy companies, I don't buy anything that I feel has a chance to go to failure, right? And because there's a risk on any single company and stock, what I mean by that is if I feel it has a less than 2% probability to go to zero, like Amazon, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Waste Management, all those big companies right there, right? I have a list of about 50 of them that I personally like, that I just wait for these buys to come in place. And with that being said, those companies could fail, but if they do fail, so much more is going to have to happen in the world that we're all going to probably go fishing to the river for food to get catfish to eat, which could happen, but I feel it has a very unlikely probability to happen, if that makes sense. So, with that being said, what do? Well, if I scrolled out to see a wide range of area here, anytime you get a buy, I'm buying. 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 Right? So check this out. Had you bought your first Ethereum investment at $8 a share, it went on to go up to about $43, right? There's money to be made. The second time, there's $9 investment. It went up to go up to $35. The third time, there was an investment of $26. It went up to go up to $34. And the last time, there was an investment made at $25, and it went up to $41. So there's two things for you to think about real quick. I'm making you guys think here on a Friday. I apologize. So now hear me out. Your retirement account doesn't grow unless you take profits. So at some point, you do have to sell, right? But if you don't want to sell and you want to hold it, just wait for these opportunities to buy, and then you buy it, and then you hold it. Because down the road, from every 5 to 10 year cycle, the probability of your great company to be up is very high. However, that's not really the way that I do it, because I'd rather buy, and just hear me out. Let's say I have a measly $1,000 or $500 to start. Let's say I only have $500 to start. And a common question I get is, well, Brandon, how much money do I need to start? Can I start with $100, $500? Dude, you can start with whatever amounts you want to make. Realistically, when you start with $100 to $500 or $1,000, you're not making $100,000 in a year. So if you're okay with that, it is best to get started, right? So if you buy $500 worth right here at $8 and up here at $16, your $500 is now worth $1K. Guess what? You just doubled your account. If you come up here to $24 a share, now you're at $1,500. 32, now you're at $2K. At what point, right, up this ladder, are you willing to take profits? Me, let's just say at 1K, I want to take $500 back off. So guess what? I'm still in the market with $500. Now I got $500 on the side to do this with a second company, because your goal is to get multiple companies, multiple houses that's going to generate you revenue or passive income down the road. All right. So check this out. Your $500 is sitting on the side up here, right? At this point, here's another 1,000. There's like, so we'll say 1,000 up here. Now you got a decision to make. Well, guess what? Let's just take your $1,000 and sell out while you're still letting your $500 ride. Why don't you just want to hold it forever? Well, if your $500 went up here to $2,000 and came all the way back down here, it's worth $500 again. So you waited all this time to make absolutely nothing. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I always have a piece in the market, but I'm taking profits and growing stuff. So at that 50 or that $1,000 extra profit way up here, right? With my original $500, I'm gonna let my $500 ride, but then now I have $1,500 on the side. So even if I use $500 for another company, right? Now I technically have $1K on the side of my account. Now I could go find 2 more companies and wait for these buys, or I can now increase my bet on this company because this becomes one of my favorite companies, right? So the next time we get a buy, right? We have $500. We could put $1,000 in right there. So now we have a total of $1,500, right? At $8. At $16, guess what? Your $1,500 is worth $3K. You getting the gist of what I'm trying to do here? Sell out, right? Sell out of your $3K and let $1K ride. Now you don't got $1K up on the side. You have $2K up on the side. Get what I'm saying? You started this with $500. Now you got $2K on the side. You have $500 on another company, so you have two companies now, while you still have money in this in case it keeps running to the upside. If that makes sense, just comment BMT in the box while you guys are watching this. I'm not going to keep going over this, but that's how I invest. So I believe the power is taking high probability buy setups. Once you go into profits, you can take profits and just let it go. In our insider tips group, for less than $1 a day, check this out. We get a buy here, and once we go up 5 to 10%, we'll put a protection stop in place right there, and we're risk free as it keeps going up 20, 30, 40, 100, 200%. In this situation, right? Not all stocks do this, but guess what? You now can move your stop up. Boom, you got stopped out. Now you wait for the next buy, right? Well, what happens if it pushes up and it goes against me? All right, that's cool. If you don't put a stop in place and it came against you, you now wait for another buy to put in a second part of your money, and now your cost basis comes down, so then when you go into profits, you're going to be in a nice situation to do that, right? So that's just kind of how we do things. It is Friday. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time, so with that being said, I do appreciate you guys. If anything interests you, you can watch the recordings, you can scan the QR codes, you can check what we're about, what we do. We have a package for everybody, so whatever you're trying to accomplish. With that being said, you guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Guess what? Beast Mode out. And if you want merch, just comment in the chats. I'll send you over the link. We do have hats. We do have shirts. We do have tank tops. We do have T-shirts. So it's all pretty good. And 10% of the sales goes back to our Make More to Bless More. And we get to make an impact for the world. So what that's about is this. I want us all to make more so that we can bless more. Whatever's in our hearts, I want us to be able to give back to the friends, family, churches, charities, all making the world a better place. It starts right here with me, impacting you. Once I impact you, you get to impact somebody else. So our tree root started here, and before you know it, if we all buy into the vision, we're making the world a better place, and we have a very happy tree and doing what we got to do. So with that being said, you guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Beast Mode out.